So the next topic that we're going to cover will be the configuration. Now this is the subtopic that we're going to cover. Let's say for example, if your BTS only support 2G, what is the board that you're supposed to put inside? If they support 3G only, what is the board that you're supposed to put inside? So that one is the first part, slot assignment. After that, we will have a look at the slot assignment for the RF as well. And how do the RF connect to the BBU, connection of CPRI cable. And then the last part will be the co-transmission scenario. Now, let's say for example, if your BTS, the BBU only support 2G, this one is the example of the board that you can put it inside. You can put a fan here, which is a mandatory, UPEU, which is the power supply and an external alarm, and then you need to have a manager board inside here, which is the GTMU. How about the baseband processing? Baseband processing is located at this upper position, which is at slot number 5 here. So slot number 5 at this position is the one that connects to your RF. And notice that at the down position here, alternatively, if let's say for example, if you don't want to use a GTMU board, you can use a UMPT board as well. Notice that if you use a GTMU board, the BTS is actually a GBTS. What is the difference between the GBTS and EGBTS? GBTS is all the configuration, all the operation and maintenance is actually carried out at the BSC side, which is the controller side. Whereas at the EGBTS, on the other hand, the configuration and the operation and maintenance can carry out at the BTS side because the BTS got its own LMT, which is the operation and maintenance software. Here is the example of the slot that you can put in. Let's say for example, you support GBTS. This one is the board that you can put it inside, GTMU board. And for GTMU board, it's always located at slot 5 and 6. This one has already fixed and it's mandatory. In case you are using UMPT board normally we will put at slot number 7. And then the remaining of the slot is exactly the thing that I mentioned just now. Fan is always located at slot number 16. UPEU board is always located at number 19. If you need extra power or extra external alarm, you can put it at slot number 18. And the remaining board, UBRI, is the extension for the BBP. UTRP is the extension port if you're not enough of any E1T1 port or FE port or optical port. USCU in case you need external clock. And UCIU is in case you need to have an inter-BBU connection. And here is the example that show you if you BTS only support 3G. So notice that if you only support 3G, you got a fan, you got a UPEU, you got a UMPT. UMPT you can support 3G only. And the one that connects to your RF is WBBP board. So here is to show you the slot number and then the board that you can put it inside. For example, main processing board, it's always slot 7. If 7 full already, you put at 6. Baseband processing, slot 0 until 5. And then the fan is always slot number 16. UPEU, same as just now, slot number 18, and the remaining board. And here is to show you in case your base station support 2G and 3G together. Notice that if you put 2G and 3G together, you got two different scenarios. If you put 2G and 3G together, you can either choose to put the main manager processing board, 2G1 board, 3G1 board, or you can choose to process 2G and 3G together. So in case you choose to process it at two different boards, is this type, GU base station, which means you need to put GTMU board as well as the WMPT board. However, if you choose 2G and 3G managing board is the same board, you can just put the UMPT board inside. So here is to show you the scenario. If your main processing board you want to separate to two different boards, so you got GTMU here and UMPT. So in case you want to combine it together, you can have just one board, which is the UMPT board. This slide is actually showing you the BBU 3900, what is the capacity, how many carrier they can support. Notice that if your GTMU board only support IP transmission, so for one GTMU board, they can support up to 72 TRX. So in case you are using 3G, this one is the capacity. Notice that one single BBU, they can support up to a total of 24 carrier. And if it is GU combination, they can total support of each sector 24, 24, 24 for 2G. And then for 3G, each of the sector is 8 carrier. The next part we're going to have a look is the slot assignment for the RF. Now, look at the slides here. This one is the RFU, whereas this part is the RRU. So notice that the RFU got two ports. The two port here is connected directly to the antenna. And if you are using the RRU, the port is actually located at the downward position. So these two ports is actually connected to the antenna. And notice that the RF cable connection is actually illustrated here if it is one sector. Let's say, for example, if you got multiple sector, these configurations will repeat multiple times. So here is to show you if you got using one band and three different sector. Remember just now that I mentioned, the RF that I mentioned just now is one RF board, they can only support one band at one time. So if I'm using one band only, for example, I'm using band 900, so one sector, one band. So you got three sector, so you need to have three RFU. So here is to show you the example, one band for three sector. So in case you are using two band for three sector, same thing, it's 3 times 2, you require 6 RFU. If you got 4 band, 3 sector, 4 times 3, you require a total of 12 RFU. And the last part here, if you notice, 3 band, 1 to 3 sector, so it's 3 times 3, a total of 9 RFU. And the next part, we'll have a look at the connection from the BBU to the RF. So notice that if you want to connect your BBU to the RF, if you are using 2G, is GTMU connected directly to the RF? Here is to show you the connection. So this type of connection, if you notice, is one port to one RF, we known as a star connection. However, in some scenario, we have a star chain connection. What is a star chain connection in which one port is connected to one RFU, and the RFU here, it's cascading to another RFU. So this type of connection we known as a star chain connection. And then we got another type of connection we known as a dual star connection as well. Dual star connection mainly used for multiple mode type of connection. For example, your RFU here is MRFU. When you got MRFU, you need to connect to two different BBP board. For example, the one that process 2G and the one that process 3G. So the one that process 2G is connected to the GTMU. The one that process 3G is connected to the WBBP. So here is the total 3 type of connection: single star, star chain, and dual star. And look at here, this one is the overall view. Each of the RFU, they can support different type of topology. And the next slide here is actually to show you if you are using RRU, the connection is exactly similar like the RFU. And the last part is co-transmission scenario. So what is a co-transmission scenario? Let us have a look here. Now, let's say for example, inside my BTS, I support 2G and 3G. So 2G, I'm using GTMU board. And 3G, I'm using WMPT board. So of course, the 2G, the destination is BSC. For 3G, the destination is RNC. So both of the destination is different. So when you got two different type of destination, you need to connect to two different transmission equipment. So what happened is that this type of connection is very messy. So we got something we known as a co-transmission. So what is a co-transmission? Let us have a look here. Now, in normal scenario, the GTMU board, you need to connect directly to the BSC, whereas for WMPT, you need to connect directly to the RNC. When we're using a co-transmission, which means both of this one, the 2G and 3G, the signaling and data, is transmitted using one cable from WMPT. So this type of transmission we known as co-transmission. So our machine can support the 2G and 3G co-transmission. Either you use GTMU or WMPT board, which is the first scenario, or we got second scenario in which you got UTRP board. So if you are using UTRP board, you can actually both the 2G and 3G connection, the signaling and data is transmitted together using the UTRP board to the transmission equipment. And we got scenario 3 in which you are using GTMU board and UMPT. So in terms of this case, what happened is that the transmission for the signaling as well as the user plane is transmitted using the UMPT board. And this one is called transmission, or you can use UTRP as well. And the last scenario is that everything 2G, 3G, 4G, you combine together and then you use the UMPT board to transmit together. Thanks for watching.